Today I'm talking about a journey in the Dharma. There is a saying, talking about the Dharma for 10 minutes is not as valuable as practicing it for 1 minute. Buddhist practice must start with who we are and what we do. And we must learn to control negative bodily impulses. This is morality. Then we learn to control the mind. This is meditation. Then we learn to understand and keep truths of life. This is wisdom. In Buddhist writings, the mind is sometimes compared to as a pool of water. Its original nature is clear and pure, but it becomes cloudy when the silt of delusion is stirred up in it. Meditation is a way of letting the silt in the pool settle. Once we become accomplished at sitting meditation, then we begin to see that it is possible to meditate while standing or walking or doing just about anything. The mind in meditation is the mind of all sentient beings, and that it is in the mind of all Buddhas. Meditation is the door. What goes through the door is our compassion for others. The biggest single reason that people do not gain a lot from their practice or drop it entirely is that they do not properly balance practice and learning. Due to this imbalance, they lose heart and conclude there is nothing to be gained from the Dharma. If our understanding of the Dharma is based only on words or ideas, we will not have a deep understanding. But when we experience them in meditation, or when we are inspired by them, we renew ourselves and empower ourselves to continue the long progress of introspection and moral growth. And that is the path to awakening. The Sanskrit word Buddha means awakened one, and refers to those who have awakened to the Dharma, to the truth. The Buddha's teachings on the truth of reality and how to awaken to one's intrinsic nature are still irrelevant today, as they always were. After his awakening, the Buddha spent 49 years teaching the Dharma. At the age of 80, on the 15th day of the second lunar month, under a pair of solar trees, the Buddha entered Nirvana. The legacy he left his disciples was profound. For the Buddha had dedicated his life to teaching others the Four Noble Truths, dependent origination, karma, the three Dharma seals, emptiness, the Eightfold Path, the Five Precepts, the Six Perfections, and the Middle Way. Ever since Shakyamuni Buddha transmitted the Dharma to his disciples, countless sentient beings throughout the centuries have heard the teachings, cultivated the path, and attained awakening. The Dharma is a mirror that reflects the truth within us and shows us how to free ourselves from our own delusions. We examine our minds in the mirror of the Buddha's teachings, and we discover a certain wisdom that has always been there. The Buddha taught that we should study Dharma with a questioning mind. He also tells us to doubt. Yeah, doubt. In the Chan school of Buddhism, practitioners are encouraged to doubt and ask questions. This is why they say in Chan school, small doubts lead to small awakenings. Great doubts lead to great awakenings. No doubts lead to no awakenings. So the Dharma is like a bell. If you tap it gently, it rings softly. If you strike it hard, it will resound loudly. However, if you don't strike it at all, it won't ring. We must have questions in order to gain answers. Obvious. Wuxin, or no mind, is a Chinese expression to refer to a mind that is empty of discrimination. It is the true mind and transcends the duality of existence and non-existence. When we study the Dharma, we cannot approach it with a discriminating mind, because discrimination and differentiation are based on knowledge, and knowledge is constantly changing. So, no mind is a mind that does not differentiate. When we talk about this mind that transcends duality, it does not mean we do not have any concepts of right or wrong, or good or bad. We should have these. We should have these concepts. However, in dealing with worldly affairs and duality, we need to face them with non-differentiating mind of wisdom. No mind allows us to see the world in its reality, as it really is, not as our discriminating mind tells that it is. By applying no mind to the world around us, we will gain the clarity to see the Buddha in everything and our Buddha nature within. When the Buddha awakened, he said, all sentient beings have the Tathagata wisdom and virtue, but they fail to realize it because they cling to deluded thoughts and attachments. The Buddha said time and time again, all of us have Buddha nature, and that anyone who works long and hard enough at purifying their mind will eventually become a Buddha. Our attachments are like dark clouds that conceal the brightness of the moon. So we can put an end to our ignorance and reveal our Buddha nature. In this way we can attain a state of non-duality, the state without the limitations. This is awakening. a state without limitations, of non-duality. There is a saying in Buddhism, a Buddha is an awakened sentient being, and sentient beings are unawakened Buddhas. The sutra on the principles of the six perfections says, all sentient beings enter wisdom of the Buddha by purifying their mind. The nature of Buddha is no different from any other sentient being. Each of us has been endowed with Buddha nature from the very beginning, though we may not know it. It's one of the saddest things about us. So many of us do not know themselves, nor can they recognise their original face. We study Buddhism in order to know ourselves, to respect ourselves, to affirm ourselves. The Buddha Sutras say that all beings have Buddha nature within and cannot be sought without. The Bodhisattva Precepts Sutra calls Buddha nature the mind ground. The Mahaprayana Paramita Sutra calls Buddha nature Bodhi, which simply means awakening or awakened. The Flower Adornment Sutra calls Buddha nature the Dharma realm. The Diamond Sutra calls Buddha nature Tathagata, which is usually translated to thus come. The Golden Light Sutra calls Buddha nature Tathagata because Buddha nature is truly eternal and unchanging. The treatise on awakening of faith in Mahayana call Buddha nature the true essence. The Nirvana Sutra calls Buddha nature the Buddha essence. The Complete Enlightenment Sutra calls Buddha nature the universal and embracing and upholding. The Lion's Roar of Queen Samala Sutra calls Buddha nature the storehouse of the Tathagata. The Sutra of Supreme Meaning calls Buddha nature the perfect awakening, because Buddha nature can break through the darkness and illuminate all things. So the Buddha said all sentient beings will eventually attain complete awakening. He said that is why all sentient beings have Buddha nature. Thank you for joining me today.